Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, that's right. It's time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people. Featuring, as always, the Gentleman's Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Ah, yes, the best one. My heterosexual life mate, Dave.
I pity the fool.
I do. I truly do. The day will always pity.
And the
Chris.
ever-loving, ever-pitying AJ.
I pushed the wrong button.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
That was supposed to be the one.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to have to edit that.
Yeah.
Can I just say, it was perfectly timed from like you doing I Pity the Fool, we make a little pity joke.
Yeah.
And like, wah, 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 like just fantastic. Just fan-damn-tastic.
I'm stoned.
Ah, well, you know, it happens to the best of us,
I
really.
pity the stone fool.
I pity the
Yeah, I
stone
pity
fool.
my stoned ass too. I'll give myself another.
I pity the fool.
I love it. I love it.
Nobody
Well,
else is stoned in here right now.
No,
Just
definitely.
AJ.
Just me.
just
We
AJ.
may all sound similar in this discussion
Yeah.
this evening, but it's only AJ that's stoned.
Absolutely, only
Nobody
AJ.
else.
Definitely
Nobody,
no one
nobody,
else.
Nobody.
For sure, he's the culprit.
There are other people here. What?
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right,
Right.
then.
What are we talking about? Did we flip that coin yet?
We have not flipped it yet. So, well, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. We've been mentioning it a lot, especially over the course of the last 6 months.
Oh no.
Almost every episode, we get some sort of reference in. We are absolutely fascinated by it. Dave is absolutely fucking annoyed by it. We are going to talk, finally, about Scientology.
Just one thing I want to quickly
Scientology.
jump in and make sure we're on the same page.
Uh-huh.
I'm not irritated by Scientology.
No,
It's
no.
more just I'm irritated by our discussions and inclusions of
Absolutely,
Scientology.
absolutely. So maybe what
Just
I'm
to be
thinking,
clear.
if we get this done, maybe it gets it off our chest a little bit. You know what I mean? And we can move forward to
Yeah, because that's gonna happen.
less choppier waters.
Maybe.
when we hang with the Sea Org.
Maybe. Oh fuck. Don't even get me started on this year.
For sure. So where should we start, AJ?
Oh man, I don't know. Well,
Want to talk about do we need to talk about the history?
My
Should we talk
zero
what
about
do we all know?
lack
What do
of
you
knowledge.
know?
Okay, yeah, let's talk with Dave's
With
knowledge.
Dave. So
I
this
truly-
is more of a what does Dave know?
I actually know quite a little bit about Scientology. I am aware that it is recent. I'm aware that the fellow that wrote the story and somewhat started the push has been gone forever.
Uh-huh.
I'm aware of all what I hear from others that I'm sure will come up shortly about costs and you have to pay a premium and
All these
similar
things.
to other organizations, except
he
it's
knows
more
the
forced.
tippity top of the iceberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
and
what
not
all I
even
know.
like the tippity top. Like he
No.
doesn't like he's just seeing a picture of the iceberg.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of those.
yeah.
To me, it's another way
Low
people
theme
live their
levels for this
lives.
guy.
Because you have an incredibly basic, but then everything that you said has like layers, like
For sure.
like a croissant.
I do like croissants.
Like,
They're quite
pretty
nice.
delicious.
100 million layers deep.
Yeah.
You know what I just realized? They probably have croissants at like Scientology meetings.
Well, they might,
For
but
sure.
your
they
store.
probably- I don't know.
they-
We
they
would have
make-
known. had we
absolutely.
I got to
gone.
give them credit.
Absolutely.
Your store makes
Oh yeah. Oh,
really good.
brilliant.
croissants.
I agree. Thank you.
Like, it's
I
one
don't
of
So
those
think
things-
Scientology does have croissants. Then at
You
the
know
old
what?
Cult Co.
Maybe that is part of it.
Cult Co, yeah.
Cult is part of the Scientology.
Maybe they are. I,
Yeah.
wouldn't, you know.
I will give them a Costco. I will give you an actual true head nod. You make the croissants are always fucking great. there.
Unbelievable. I would
love
like to say
I'm not
they
going to
should.
disagree.
I
Their
could,
pastries are
Only
quite good.
one
Their
thing-
bagels are nummy num too.
they do buns of this nature, but it would be kind of nice if they did like cheese croissants. But
Oh,
they don't
yeah.
do those. But yes. But other than that, that's my only small critique. Their croissants are
You want
phenomenal.
to have fun? If you have an air fryer,
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, take a croissant, cut it in half, flip it, make a grilled cheese out of croissant.
Whoa. Okay.
Just do
Well.
that in a pan. But
Well,
okay.
No,
Yeah, but I don't know.
what
There's
I'm-
something about the air fryer, though.
The-
Oh,
Lord.
Now I'm about to
Now
have
we're
them.
talking about croissants, man. All I said was layers. I
Which
should have
was
said
clearly,
onion.
clearly invented by.
Well,
Scientology.
I'm bringing a certain perspective of layers before we get into your ontology of science.
Absolutely. Ontology of science.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
you
So
know.
yes, you're right. It was.
Yeah.
I guess we should brief history.
I guess so.
Created
Yeah,
by
From your
Cole's
perspective.
notes them.
created by a science fiction writer
Indeed.
named L. Ron Hubbard.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote a book called Dianetics. Right. It's kind of like the. It's not about Scientology, but it's one of those weird fucking things.
Imagine if they had a Bible. It's like their first testament.
Kinda, yeah. So
the entire book is, or it's like the first few testaments?
No. It's the first.
It's the basis
of Scientology.
It's not your deep shit that we're going to talk about in a minute here, but it's the idea, because what he was trying to do was he went to sell it to psychiatrists, to the American Association of Psychiatrists or some shit like that, as a new way of therapy or a new way of doing stuff.
Okay.
And he literally got laughed out of their offices. Yeah. So in Scientology, psychology is bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Like apparently, like
evil.
They revere psychology and the practice of like
speaking to
that kind of stuff, therapy and whatnot, as like unholy evil.
Okay.
They have organizations.
It's like an absolute sin again in their religion.
They have organizations to take down psychology.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how deep this whole thing goes, because he was spurned by
the
American Association.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. The association.
By the association. So that's how deep that hatred of psychology goes.
He indoctrinated them as a sin.
They're basically Satan.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And yeah, so he just kind of, I guess, took that and went, well, fuck you, I'm going to make a new philosophy or way of thinking or religion per se. And
that was in what year was that? That was
60s or something like that.
Yeah, I think early 60s.
Yeah, 62, 63.
Yeah.
I mean, I could look it up here.
No. But no internet's fun.
Well,
by the way, we are
the
idiots.
thing though, we don't want to misquote certain.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We're just idiots having fun, right?
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. That's actually a good way to start this. This is us discussing on a wonderful table,
right?
Not under any other influences. Just discussing our
do what you want to do.
Exactly. We have no actual inside knowledge other than the fact of what we read here and listen to and pay attention to. About
I shared my knowledge, which is I know everybody kind of hates them, but it's kind of one of those. As long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting other people around you.
But that's the problem. They are. And that's, or we're going to get into that. Well, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that.
It's a rabbit hole, homie.
Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole.
If it's one of those, you're not purposely hurting somebody else, even though you kind of know that you are. Yeah. And that's more, just things like every time you buy a cell phone, you're technically hurting an entire populace.
That's true. You are supporting slavery by
not just slavery, low cost. It's just there's that whole, by doing little things like that, you are technically supporting evil on our lovely planet.
Sure, and that is a very very altruistic analogy. However, there is dark insidious nature behind Scientology in and of itself as a
and that's maybe one of those things to talk about then. Yeah,
and it turns out that L. Ron Hubbard was a kooky banana pants.
Yeah,
he
was like Howard Hughes without the genius.
Yeah. Yes. By the end of it
absolves Howard Hughes.
No, it doesn't.
By the end of it, like I listened to what's his name's book, Mike Render, his not the Scientology in the Aftermath, but I can't remember what it was called. A Billion Years.
Right.
Or something like that, because it's a 1 billion year contract.
Right.
That they have to sign to be in the Sea Org. But
1 billion year contract.
Fuck. But so
how fucking insane is that?
So the idea behind Scientology is we as humans have what they call thetans attached to our bodies, which are different entities' souls. Right? So we have their thoughts and their feelings and blah, blah, blah. And
like a reincarnated type idea?
No, just like
other beings.
You're kind of possessed, but you're not like exorcist possessed or anything. Like you just have these.
They're just sitting back. It's like that movie where you got stuck in the brain. You can't actually do anything. You can only watch the light.
Like scanners, you mean?
Yeah, but they don't do anything. It affects you currently.
Okay.
So you kind of feel their thoughts and their feelings and their past regressions and whatnot.
Okay.
And to rid yourself of this, so the whole point of Scientology is to go clear, is to be clear of body thetans.
Okay.
Right?
That seems reasonable.
Yeah. You got to get rid of the things on you. Yeah.
So what you do is you hold on to these two cans.
Their perspective of sin.
Right.
You hold on to these two cans that are hooked up to this machine, and somebody asks you a bunch of questions, and I'm not sure, they don't really, the ins and outs of it are kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah.
But the idea is it's sending an electrical current from one can to the other, and you're basically electrocuting these things out of your body.
Yeah.
Right?
This, by the way, this is before you even get in the door.
Oh yeah, this
isn't
is
even
your
you,
free
like-
personality test.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But it happens throughout your like Tom Cruise gets audited.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has to hold on to these fucking cans all the
Probably
time.
less than most, but yeah, he's
They're
totally
probably
done it.
nice cans.
You know, from
They're probably nice.
I don't mind holding on a couple of nice
No, I'd
cans.
hold a couple of.
So the
cans.
point of my
Yeah.
explaining
Only my
explaining
wife's
that,
nice
and we'll
cans.
explain
Yeah.
Thetans more, I'm
As
sure
we go.
later. But by the end of his life, L. Ron Hubbard had one of his cronies, I guess is like his electrician guy or whatever, build an e-meter that was so powerful that it would like fry the Thetans out of his body, and they think that's possibly what killed him. Is he like gave himself a heart attack by electrocuting himself so
I
much.
thought they didn't have the body for him, or am I wrong on that one?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Oh,
Or
okay.
did.
I'm thinking of the gangster guy from the 30s. My bad. Move on.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Or
yeah.
well,
Oh,
maybe
you're
more
thinking
50s.
J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, yeah.
Because L. Ron Hubbard,
50s,
J.
60s.
The
Yeah, yeah.
names.
No,
kinda-
not Hoover.
Well, they don't have him.
No, you're talking about. Freaking now, I'm drawing our energy. Famous missing guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
him. We're saying all this.
Anyway.
You know what? The listeners, they understand.
They know.
They know who we're
Let us know
talking
in
about.
the
Yeah, they
comments.
bow
on
to
Discord.
But yeah, so that was L. Ron Hubbard. He created this crazy Scientology thing where you have to, like, I don't know, you can feel some stuff in here too. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I know nothing.
I'm very fuzzy on the early beginnings. Like, I'm not sure how he advertised it to people to get to the point where, you know, he started to get mass followings, but that did happen. And systematically, they recruited celebrities from 70s, 80s, and 90s, notable people that we know. Obviously, the John Travoltas.
Many people, dude.
Tom Cruise. Yeah.
John
so many
Travolta,
people.
Tom Cruise, Beck.
Yeah, Beck is one of them.
What's her name? Jenna Elfman
Jenna
from
Elfman.
Dharma
Also,
and
what's her
Grey.
name from Handmaid's Tale? Elizabeth.
Oh, I don't know.
What's her? She's a great actress. So many people. Pretty much.
Kirstie Alley was a Scientologist.
And we're going to get to this even further. Pretty much the entire cast of that 70s show.
Yeah. So Dianetics turned into Scientology because they did it likely for tax purposes.
Oh, okay.
So they renamed Dianetics Scientology.
I see.
So it could be a church of
Got it.
Scientology.
So
it was an ontology.
So that was what it did.
Or
They did
something.
do. They ended up taking it to Congress to get passed because we were denied as a religion
Yeah.
for a long time.
Probably more
numerous times.
culty at the start.
Well, sure, but then they pushed and pushed and pushed, and then there was some sort of shenanigans, and then they got
Politicians.
you for sure, yeah. And then they became a religion, and all of a sudden we started to see more people join it.
So what happened is they became a religion, and then in 1991, I believe it was, they had their tax exempt status revoked.
Oh.
And then they had to go back and do it again. And that's one of the reasons I think their base is in Clearwater, Florida, is because they were allowing them to do certain things and operate as a church.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, because in the States, they are very state.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, so that's-
state first. Yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
what happened was, here's what happened. L. Ron Hubbard had his wife and the office of, I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, it's one of their fucking groups of
People.
sectors of people kind
Yeah.
of thing, right? Like office, but they had them infiltrate the FBI.
Mhm.
Or was it the FBI or was it the
CIA.
no, it wasn't it was the money one.
Mm.
The who does the money? You know, what do they call that? The IRS.
IRS, yeah.
Had them
Oh,
infiltrated
taxes.
the IRS. Like 12 people
Oh,
went
boy.
like undercover in the IRS to try and like fuck with shit and get their tax exempt status back or what. Yeah, dude, seriously,
Yeah,
this isn't just like, oh man,
right.
If they were here besides, though, they might play we're just trying to defend our church, our organization,
sure.
for humanity.
oh, I'm
Mhm.
sure. Yeah, I don't,
It's one of those. So the challenge I have is, don't get me wrong, I've heard a lot of rough things about it. Not that I'm an expert by any stretch, but you pick any religion, you've heard a
Well,
lot
we're
of rough
not
things
we're
about
not done yet, and
Yeah,
one
so-
could say
it. Generally,
yes,
on the
all of them
surface-
should
people.
lose their tax exempt status.
On
It's
the
nothing to do
surface,
with-
Absolutely.
on
Yeah.
the surface, it seems harmless.
No, I'm
Right.
not even talking about harmless. Bad and good. You name any religion, and generally there are stories around that bad side.
Yeah,
So
I'll
that's
gi-
where, to
I'll give
me,
you
it's
that.
just
I'll
one of
give you
those.
that, but it's
They're maybe more recent in the bad department, potentially.
so. I guess
They're doing
we can say
sim-
societally, it's what could have been accepted to a point, right? Like, holy crusades back in the medieval times. That was what people did,
well,
right?
Not happily,
Well,
though. The people
yeah.
potentially going and being murdered.
that
by
was
them.
brought upon.
I guess it was a
by
little different than
the
a king
church,
taking over
right?
Yeah,
something.
Right.
like
That was the idea was to like that was war by the church in
Yeah.
the name of God.
Yeah, I just got into that in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like
So-
that friggin' religion in Game of Thrones that reminded me of the Scientology.
Oh,
I'll tell you
yeah.
what. I'll tell
Oh,
you
yeah,
what.
for sure.
We just got to that part, man, where they blew up the fucking the fucking thing blew and melted. But yeah,
Crazy show.
Wow.
oh, fuck, man, have you not watched Game of
Nah,
Thrones,
I'm not a
dude?
fan.
Oh
Dude,
man,
I said that.
I watched
said
one
that for a
episode.
long time.
you got to get past it.
Yeah.
You got to get past
No,
it.
I'll
You
pass.
got it. Trust
No.
me.
It's
I will.
fucking good.
I will
Oh,
happily.
I will
First
say-
5 seasons are
pass.
amazing.
There's too much unnecessary fucking.
I mean, is there?
It
though?
can
Is
be
there ever
implied.
too much
Is
fucking?
It can be
ever too
implied,
much?
especially brother fucking.
Whatever. Whatever.
But anyway, so
You
back
don't
to
know. You
back
don't
to
know
the
what it's like.
Scientologists.
You don't
What
know.
what?
Anyways.
So when you go into Scientology, right, there are certain levels to
Okay.
it. Like
Which is
you
the same of most religions.
You could be Johnny on the spot like we are right now and be a Scientologist and whatever, and you fucking pay money, a whole shit ton of money for books.
if you want. Again,
no,
if it's,
no, it's
so
not
here's
if
the
you
thing.
want, dude. That's the thing. That's the difference.
No.
You can
See,
have a Bible in your house or not and be a Christian. You can't not have these textbooks and be a Scientologist.
See, now that's where I guess I could be a Scientologist when I want to be one.
no, you
No.
can't.
Sure, I can.
That's not how it works.
Posing.
as an organization,
But
may
then-
not see me as
No,
one.
because you don't know the ins and outs of Scientology if you don't have this literature.
My perspective. Oh, my buddy gave it to me. It's fine.
Well, that's the thing. They actually
It's-
have things preventing.
Seriously, dude,
against that.
it's not how
Yeah.
it fucking works.
It's just
It's not like Buddhism or
that is
Christianity
fair.
or something like that. You have
I'll
to
pick on
have these
Christianity
things.
though. You go back 500 years. Again, a lot of the people who ran churches, only they had the book
That's
in
true.
that sense of being able to read it, understand it, and even possess it.
You got all of your information.
So it's
from
one of those
a
things
leader
of
the church. That's true.
kind of, and this is again, I'm going to get in trouble with everybody on this one. Scientology now is, as I called it earlier, somewhat related to, I'll pick on Christianity, to that religion 500 years ago.
But all you would have to do is go to the church and learn it. You wouldn't have to pay your
Oh,
fucking life
you
savings.
have to give the church a couple.
Well, you have to
extra
give them
coins.
But
a
you
dowry
don't,
or
though,
a
but
pittance.
But that's
yeah,
the thing.
there's your
No,
the fucking.
But that's the thing.
It's the same thing,
But
just different.
here's
but
the
he's talking about at
difference,
the
though.
time when
Even now, even at the time.
when it was created.
Well, no, but that's what I'm
and
kind
yes,
of saying.
yes, technically speaking, I guess it would be church by church basis, but there is no requirement of anybody going to a church and has to pay to be there.
Yeah,
There is
Jesus.
no fixed
Jesus,
donation.
Jesus
That
was
is
like,
no fixed
come and
anything.
listen.
In fact, you can go there for years before you decide.
So I do have a
Yeah.
question. Does
Might it be looked down
Scientology
upon?
have like
Possibly.
churches, like when you get together?
Yes, there are churches. Yes, there
Oh,
are.
I
Of
almost think-
Scientology?
Yes, there
Yes.
are.
Oh, yes, there are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and people get together and they do
Yeah.
like a
and
service.
they do
and things.
services. Yes.
Oh,
They do
okay.
their thing, yeah.
Mhm.
But you're not allowed in.
Yeah,
You-
you're not-
you can't just walk in off the
openly
street.
walk in.
So that's fair. So I guess in this context, I do somewhat get a little, that is weird. Because I would think as an organization, you'd want people to come in and be inspired to thus join.
You can go in for your free personality test or your free whatever. Like when Chris and I were in New York, we had a dude come up and, hey, you want to come watch a free movie?
Mhm.
And he gave us like a brochure and we started looking at it and we're like giggling to ourselves, hey, let's go watch a free movie. And then we flipped it over and we realized it was fucking Scientology.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
like, because then what they do is
Still
they
a free movie.
they hook you up to that e-meter thing, right?
Still free.
Well, they
cookies.
can't.
The cans.
I would love to hold a pair
they
of
hook
cans.
But then they start talking to you about like, oh, like, do you remember this happening or did this ever happen to you? And then you start like talking to them about shit or whatever, answering their questions. And then they're like, well, if you want to keep going, you got to give us money. How much money you got?
Oh,
There's this
intriguing.
dude on YouTube. I don't know if you've
So
ever
it's more
watched
of a
him.
business.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't know if you've
Uh-huh.
ever watched him. He's called Reckless Ben.
No, I don't
He
think so.
infiltrated Scientology because he got himself a pair of camera glasses
Oh.
off of fucking Amazon or whatever.
Ah.
He's just this dude who does like crazy shit.
Shout out to Reckless Ben.
So, and he fucking infiltrated Scientology. Like, you see the entire process from the free bullshit to them asking for money. Well, if you don't have any money, well, how much money do you have? Well, you can just give us that much money. Oh, you don't have any money? Who can you ask money for? Who can you ask for your, like, do you have parents, your grandparents? Do you have a savings account? Do you have friends you can ask? Like, oh, we'll only do it for $250, but then you owe us. Like, it's fucking scammy.
So that is scammy. That, I will head on. If that's truly how
that's how it starts,
works,
dude.
Yeah. So that I admit, like, I can't even imagine myself or anybody in my family in this position going, sorry, what? Yeah, take care. But bye now.
Yeah, exactly.
But they get to, I guess it's in the
wonder
questions
how
they
catch
ask.
newbies.
They trigger emotion.
Yeah.
They trigger certain emotions in you because they ask you about past things, and then maybe
so they're
maybe
doing
you
this
were
whole
beaten
thing
as a kid.
with this Thetan level thing, and then they start asking you certain questions. And I think someone's doing a background check on you outside of that as well,
Probably.
feeding information to them. So that way they're cold reading you on top of having a
I
good
think
chunk
you
of
mentioned this,
information.
but just to make sure I'm clear. So I can take part of one of these things for free, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I am really tempted.
but you would.
But
then you'd get fucking hassled.
But
You're gonna
it's
get
almost
hassled.
kind of
Oh,
worth
you're gonna
it.
get hassled.
It's
man.
almost kind of worth it. We give them a bunch of bullshit information. Don't take anything real with us. Just go fuck around and do it.
But and what I mean though is
Like if there's 3 perfect people to not get caught by it, it's
there's
I
a place in
agree.
there's one in Toronto.
I do agree with your description. The one thing is the tone of your voice. I do want to change this. It would be more of a not to fuck with them. Just let's give it a kick. Let's see what it actually is within the region we can get to.
yeah.
For all we know, we
definitely
get
not
there.
fuck with them.
And to be honest, they're all just like, "Hey, here's what we're thinking. If you'd like, here's think about it a bit. We think it's good for you, though."
So now that you're in the door, let's pretend we're in the door, right? So now that we're in the door, we want to go up the bridge, the OT bridge, the operating Thetan bridge.
Yeah.
Right? So that's about shelling out the money. That's how you move on in the Scientology world, though. That's how you become.
And again,
Right?
if that's truly,
That's how you go clear. That's how you get
Then
to
that
know
does
Jesus,
sound-
essentially.
yeah, if it
Nah,
is
well,
truly
not
all
even that,
about you basically giving your monies away to try to get higher in the club, then yeah, that's wrong.
It's basic.
Can
It's basically buying levels in a video
by the
game.
way,
right?
there's no way to go clear.
Oh no, there's no fucking way to do it.
It's impossible.
There's no, because what they're doing in this fucking religion. So you're going along the regular thing. You got to buy the books. You got to go to the thing. You got to talk to the people. You got to do you got to get the scores and whatever, right? You do the little cans and fucking do your past life regression bullshit. And then,
you are quite an expert on
and
this.
then you get to like, oh, I should find a picture of the bridge. But you get to a certain level and then they start changing what requirements it takes to get to the next level.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, but you got to do this. So you got to go all the way back down to like level 7 and start going back up again to get to
Snakes
level
and
9.
ladders.
Exactly. But you got to pay
Snakes
money.
and ladders.
But you got to pay
Exactly.
money to do this.
Right.
You got to pay lots of fucking money to do this. People
Right.
have paid hundreds and
It sounds like one of those
millions
culty
of dollars.
type things.
Oh, it is definitely.
It
a
is
cult.
Your
hundreds.
description is definitely different than my original understanding, because I really did think it was one of those you could just kind of show up and listen.
No, man.
And
no,
I
they
will
try and
agree.
get everything out of you.
Yeah, if it's one of those where they're just trying to seep the monies away, as I was joking about somewhat earlier, yeah, then in that case it sounds like old religions, even our
But
classics.
there's even different levels to this cult,
Yeah.
right? So there's the
there's different levels in any religion.
There's the Joe Schmo off the fucking street, like you and me, right? Like we go in, we pay the
I'm more
fucking
of a
money.
Dave Schmo, but
Dave Schmo, we get the money, we pay them the monies, we buy the books, we go to the church services, blah blah blah. We go home to our families.
Yeah.
But then there's like the organizations that run it all, that they have running it all. There's the Sea Org.
Yep.
There's another
is
one.
there a D-org?
No, it's like SEA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a B-org.
It's because
Once in a while an A-org.
Yeah.
Not to go in, but just to, jiggle a bit.
it's because the Hubbard was a proposedly a Navy guy, which
Yeah, wasn't
apparently
he,
there's no
like,
record of it.
Yeah. No.
There's no record of him in any,
He was
any
able
sort
to
of
clear
army
it all,
sort of
eh?
thing.
Nice.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's
Good on him.
good.
He
Yeah.
went
Gotta
clear.
hide that shit.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
but yeah, so there's the Sea Org, and then that's where you have to sign the like billion-year contract or whatever. and then you can't see your family. Like if for some reason you wanted to be a Scientologist, but your wife and shit, you wanted to join the Sea Org, your wife and your kids didn't want to do that kind of shit, you'd be like, it's done.
See ya.
Severed ties with your family. You're done.
Yeah, and again, if that's truly how it works and people are doing this, there are two problems in this discussion already.
Right? And if you start a family, if like say you're a young person and you go into the fucking Scientology,
imagine being young, Dave.
Oh,
imagine
right.
it. Imagine.
And you meet somebody who's in Scientology or whatever, and you guys get together and you fucking have a baby, and the baby's taken away from you right away. It's raised by Scientology nannies and shit like that, and you don't even get to see it for birthdays and this, that, and the other thing. You get to name it, you see it for like 2 hours, and it's gone.
How would people ever live like this though? Like it sounds like one of those. I will admit, and again, I truly know nothing, but it's just the way the story to me sounds so just insane. Like it's from a horror movie, or it's something that happened one time. It did truly happen one time.
He's starting to
but
get
never
it.
again.
Yeah. No, it continues to happen.
Yeah, because I can't imagine people agreeing to this.
Yeah,
it's the
like
contract you sign.
It permeated
Fuck
culture
you and your
and
contract,
and it's all internal. That's the
right.
That's a big part of the problem that we're also probably going to get to
I
later
would report
with
the child,
and because it's a religion.
Sure, I can.
The religion,
you'll get kicked out.
That's fine. Give me my fucking kid back.
But then the police will come and they don't do anything because it's all sanctioned. It's all
that
consensual.
Would not be, no, because no. I'm sorry.
The cops can't do shit.
Oh,
man.
they can. I'm sorry.
Also, the
Even
cops
in
are paid off by a lot of Scientology.
that's
paid
true.
off. I can't
There's
say
that.
about, but I'm sorry. No. If
that was
as
just proven.
a responsible parent, I've had a child. Nobody can take this child away from me without a legal discussion and all those.
But that's
things.
you signed that. You signed that when you went into that level of Scientology.
You cannot sign a child away by a contract, even in the States. They have not hit that low. No, you can.
Sure, you can. It's called adoption.
Yeah, okay, but that would not be a single contract saying I'm going to adopt every child from this point on. Or sorry, not adopt, but the other side of the coin. No.
I hate to say it, but it happens.
No. I can see people pushing me. I can see, or I am I'm
okay,
all
so
in
then
the Scientology.
but then they kick you out. So now you're labeled a suppressive person. You can't talk to your family anymore.
Right. So all that I agree with. That I can see happening.
Right. So now you can't talk to your family. You'll never see your kid ever again.
No. They'll get in trouble if they respond to you. Let's be clear. It's not that you can't talk to them.
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, you could try,
shit.
But the amount of security that they have around the compounds that these people live in is fucking insane.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't get to like they wouldn't answer your calls
if you're in some sort of segregated
emails.
Community. I did not realize that a lot of them are.
Well, that's the next step beyond Joe Schmo paying the money off the street. The next step is this.
Oh, okay. Where you joined?
You join Scientology.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
now it's a cult.
Now it's one of those, but it's a cult, but also a person making that decision to join the cult,
but not knowing exactly what they're getting into.
Right. Oh yeah, that's most life things.
So let's take
new job
because the actual
life,
secret
children.
As to why, like, okay, when we'll use Christianity as an example. The understanding of Christianity is very simple. It's known as soon as you walk in the door of what that is, and that is Jesus Christ is the way.
I see where we're going now.
And that's it. Like that's. If you want to get to heaven, you got to believe in Jesus. That's it. There's no
like
they
give you the
there's really
outs.
there really is it's as simple as
You're
that.
Right.
There really is not much more to
it's
it.
More God, that's all.
Yeah,
but
sure,
you
sure,
know it's God. You know it's God. You know it's Jesus.
Fair.
You know, but
you know what I mean. Like
playing the game.
The barrier of entry is there. That's it. Whereas Scientology, you do not learn what that truth is
until
very, very, very far into the game. You spend a lot of monies
OT3
into the game.
Yeah, no. So when you describe it in that manner, word, the only way you can actually, well, I guess that's the other thing is because to me, when I hear religion, those types of ideas, there are levels in it, certainly, but those levels generally also take on more responsibility. Like, hey, I'll pick on Catholic Church,
for sure.
Priests, nuns, like you have different.
That's different. So that's
absolutely.
another level of Scientology. Then now you're getting into the people who deliver the doctrine.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I thought we were talking about like
no, dude.
No.
That's the thing.
No.
So it is really like an RPG, like an old style game where you're just trying to,
dude. Onions, man. Onions.
So in this case, it's one of those. you need experience points to level up. In this case, your description,
you can buy them.
Their
You have to buy
experience.
them.
Well, no, the experience points are dollars. That
Right,
they're a 1 to 1.
absolutely, yep.
Once in a while, you may get knocked down by some sort of super thing,
Yeah.
and you have to rebuy those experience points back up.
Yep.
This
So,
kind of sounds
so
fun.
it's called it's called the Bridge to Total Freedom.
Ooh.
And I'm trying to find
And
like
I just
all
need
for-
good experience points to get there.
That's right.
Yeah,
Enough.
I can't find a good picture of it. Hold on.
Yeah, a picture will not help me at all in this discussion.
It's it'll at least give you.
I
an
have a
idea.
suspicion, and again, this actually follows most religions. A picture of things that are come from that religion are often the artist's perception.
Fair.
No, this is an actual. This is an actual thing from Scientology.
Well, to be fair, our audience can't see it.
Well, I'm just showing Dave like the levels. Like,
Yeah.
Nice.
it's like,
That's a complex building.
yeah, all of these little levels, all of these, you pay money, right? And you don't get to learn about fucking, like Chris is saying, what Scientology is all about until like over here when you've already paid like $300,000.
Right.
A lot of monies.
It is a lot of money.
And that's where this whole, like Chris and I joke about the South Park thing. That's where this whole
Right.
Xenu guy comes in.
which South Park, I would say, has to be the first thing, pop culture thing to expose.
They were the ones to bring that to light for sure.
Right, in one of their episodes, which is what we obviously
Yeah.
constantly quote.
We reference it. Yeah.
Because it's fucking amazing. And when you know, like, obviously when they South Park it, like, it's even funnier, but just
That would be the goal.
but
But it's not actually
like-
on the screen it's flashing this is what Scientologists actually believe. And then if you go and look for this fucking story and actually find it, which I have,
yeah,
Yeah.
they were dead on the fucking money. So this
for sure.
intergalactic alien named Xenu
I've heard this from the movie, which I know honestly I've not seen.
like
Okay.
killed a bunch of people, or no, what did he
Wasn't
do?
there a
He fu-
war?
Yeah, there was a
Galactic
war,
war?
and then he took a bunch of people, like kidnapped a bunch of
Yeah.
beings. I don't want to say people, but beings, and then brought them to Earth in spaceships that looked like 747 aircrafts.
Yeah.
This
Just
is what's
like our
written.
airplanes.
This is what's actually written,
Yeah.
and dropped them into a volcano. Okay.
Seems like a different spot to drop, but okay.
And then when he dropped them into the volcano, apparently, they were frozen on the ship too.
Right, they were
So
frozen.
when he dropped them in the volcano, he also set off a nuclear explosion or some shit, or a hydrogen bomb in this volcano, which erupted the volcano, spilling all of these souls everywhere on the planet, which attached itself to everything on
it
the
came
planet.
back to the attachment idea from before.
Right, yeah,
Right?
the Thetans, exactly.
Okay.
So
so
that's
that
how we
explains
got
this. Okay.
body thetans. But yeah, so aliens, boom. So we have alien beings in and on us apparently.
Right. And the whole point is to
But you don't learn
you know-
this. You don't learn this until $500,000 later.
Well, no, what's actually visualize this for a moment. You know what? I'll kick $20 to get rid of him. Yeah.
Oh, and
For sure,
sorry,
yeah.
fuck, we should have prefaced this and asked him if he wanted to know this. A la Scientology rules, if you know this information before you pay to get to this level, you will die.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Of
then
like
I won't
something
pay.
like specific of something like fucking pneumonia. No, now that you know it, apparently you're gonna die of pneumonia.
When am I gonna die?
This is written in fucking Scientology textbooks. This
I
information,
haven't actually got the textbook yet.
this
I know, either
information
that. I can't
is
afford
written
it.
in there,
Can't
right?
afford
Your
it.
perspective is that it's written in that.
No, it's people have said.
I
Leah
just
Remini,
Yeah.
she's gone on record as
For
to
sure.
saying exactly what was in. They took her into a room that was all like
creepy.
all creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like a briefcase in the middle of the fucking room or some shit like that. It was
Nice.
brought in by some guy who had it handcuffed to him.
Uh-huh.
And then she was the only person who was allowed to be in the room aside from her mom, who was already in this OT3 level.
Mhm.
And she had to read the story of Xenu by herself and
There's an,
believe
oh.
it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't know. It's no. And like Chris was saying, I don't think there's any other religion out there that makes you do something like go through that many fucking hoops
No, but
to know
there's-
why
we're-
you're there.
I mean,
So again, that's one of those things. Though.
Catholicism does make you
Well,
poke a hoop.
well,
but not
the
so you know why
Jewish
you're there.
thing where you hit 13.
Oh, the bar mitzvah.
Yeah, so bar mitzvah. No, don't get me wrong. Bar mitzvah sounds like it's far more just a good time, have some fun.
But you can
Sure.
have a bar
But
mitzvah and not have a party.
before you even do the party, you got to do the readings,
Right.
And I don't know the full details, but it's very similar to what you just described. You, in order to even stay, or I don't know the exact rules. My bad. It's just one of those. You have to read this in front of
Yeah,
the church.
it's a ceremonial thing. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and it's
Yeah.
a sign of you growing up. By
So,
spreading
I
those
guess
things.
we're-
But but you know why you're a Jew.
No, what I'm more
Because
trying
you're
to
a
say.
chosen one.
But from if that's the family, if you're raised in an Orthodox or Hasidic Jewish family,
Yeah.
where that usually takes place,
Yes.
you know why you're a Jew. You know what you're doing there. You know the
Right.
information.
But somebody who is new to being Jewish can still participate and do many of these things. And there's lots of extra steps,
Well,
and
yeah.
extra things that they need to do, which sounds a lot like Scientology.
But wait, what do you mean? Hold on. A person who's Jewish. Like,
No, not Jewish. Somebody who's coming into the
You
Jewish
can
religion.
you can be
Oh,
a
when
new-
you convert.
You can be a new
Yeah.
Jew. Yeah,
when you convert.
convert into a new Jew.
Yeah,
And it
but
takes
there's-
a lot
I
of
think
extra
there's-
steps.
But I think there's certain things that you don't do. You don't have a bar mitzvah. You don't have a bris.
Wait, what if you convert before the age of 13? You can't.
Well, then,
actually,
then yeah, you'd probably have. A
I
bar
would like
mitzvah.
to actually
and yes,
rescind
you
my
can
statement. I
get-
thought you could still get the bar mitzvah.
But
If you can't,
no,
then I'm out.
I
you
don't
don't. You don't
want
get the tip of your pecker cut off.
I think you can get. To
Well,
the
that
pecker
already happened
cut
to me.
off.
That's a preprequel.
Can, well,
I'm
there
good.
you go. You're happy.
I'm good. Is that
He's
my
already-
entry?
he's got-
I'd
there
have
you go.
to
You
flash
got
it. And
Bare
I'm
entry
good?
done. He's already there. He's
Alright.
going to be a Jew.
I'm Jew.
He's ready.
All
We
right.
love
So
it.
they
I
have
am
it-
going to
You
hell.
got the cheapness and you got circumcised. There you go. Done.
Hey,
That's
hey,
it. That's
hey,
how- that's how you-
hey, hey.
That's how you get into the synagogues. You have to tip your dick. Right?
That's what you dong. Okay. So, yeah.
Now that
wait,
we've offended, thoroughly offended everybody.
Absolutely.
But it's anything I've ever watched. So you have like the interviews of people who've left,
Yes.
right? And they're telling you what's what. The stories are all similar.
Yeah,
There's-
they're all
there's-
almost identical.
There's no change in so how they're treated by
Right.
higher ups. Apparently, the guy who runs the fucking joint, David Miscavige, is a fucking piece of shit.
Mhm.
Like not just to his underling, like not just to the people who go to the church or members, like to like his second in command kind of shit. Like
Yeah.
he's physically abusive.
He's a very small person, I guess, both in body and in mind.
His wife has gone missing.
Yeah, she hasn't been seen
Yeah,
in like
that
20
does suck.
plus years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not
and
like
that's
a
why.
recent, like-
and that's
No,
why.
no. It's been a long time.
That's why that one actress, Leah Remini,
Mhm.
is a big proponent on Scientology bad. But that's why she got kicked out in a way. She questioned where this
Shelley.
dude's wife was.
Mm.
Right? I think she was at Tom Cruise's wedding to Katie Holmes, and she walked up to somebody and she was like, "Oh, where's Shelley Miscavige? Where's Shelley?" Right? She's friends with fucking Tom Cruise and shit like that. And that's when shit hit the fan. That's when it went from Scientology good to Scientology bad.
Oh, in her head. type
In
thing. Gotcha.
her
Yeah.
right? Because
Mhm.
like if you're famous and you're paying
So-
out the fucking dollar bills, y'all, they treat you like gold.
Not to absolve Scientology, because I don't know what the actual impact was organizationally, but it's one of those things, though. This sounds more like less Scientology, more the dude you were just speaking of. He likely is the one that did this, not Scientology.
But he's
as-
being protected by Scientology,
Yes, that, and again, I
which
actually,
is the problem.
yeah, that
Well,
I would
mean,
suspect is true. But,
But she
it's just,
either she's just like, well, who knows? Maybe it was him. Maybe she fucked off because she knows she can't just get out.
there is that too.
Or maybe
right?
she got a lobotomy.
Oh, maybe.
No,
Maybe.
it's entirely possible that
But not
actually
only-
she's somewhere right now, hiding out, chilling in Italy, just relaxing.
Right.
True as possible.
Because
And
being
now
the wife
because of
of
us
the
talking
fucking
about
head
this,
guy.
It is interesting that she was in the public eye for so long that all of a sudden wasn't. But yeah, it's very, yep, you're absolutely right. She very well could be
She's trying to hide.
anywhere. Yeah, she could be. She's just,
Right,
I'm
maybe
done.
she just got out.
Whatever, yeah.
Well-
She just loves her job that much. She never wants to leave. Yeah, it's possible.
No.
What fucking
I think she
show
probably
or-
left.
there
She's
was a
hiding.
show or a movie or something that played off of that too.
Oh no, I'm trying to think.
Oh,
There's
it was
the old 90s one that's in my
What?
head.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
The Power Boom or whatever. Fucking there was a whole Scientology like it was analogy.
Analogy.
Stoned, wow. Yeah, it was a whole Scientology analogy because it was like a pyramid scheme.
Oh, right.
But then when you went to like try and get out of it, the office was like Scientology.
Yeah.
Everybody was all like weird and shit like that. And then
I don't remember this episode.
The person who ran it, her husband had gone missing. And what's his name? Jay Chandrasekhar was in it. It was Nutriboom, yeah.
Yeah, Nutriboom.
Yeah, he was the boom boom guys.
That guy's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Watch that if you want to know what Scientology is about. I feel like one of the writers was like, I got out of there and I got to say something.
Yeah. They seem to be a much more dangerous group than they let on.
Yeah, because then if you get out, they'll harass you at your house.
Yeah, so here's a small example. Obviously,
they call them squirrel hunters.
We love South Park. That's our jam.
Oh, you've never mentioned this before.
I know, crazy talk.
But South Park?
The South Park.
South Park.
So that was the episode that got Isaac Hayes, who played the voice of Chef, to quit the show because they did the episode on Scientology. He did not want them to do that. They're like, too bad, we're going to do it. And they did. And he's like, all right, I'm leaving the show.
All right.
Not only was it mocking it, but I feel like part of the reason is because of how factual.
Right. They were very factual about the show. Now, what the crazy part was, Scientology did everything they could to get that episode pulled. They couldn't do anything. But they wanted to find dirt on Matt and Trey, the creators.
Okay.
Because that's how they roll. They go and find dirt and try to.
So one group of humans is acting like humans with another group of humans.
Right.
Okay, moving on.
And then,
but they'll hire PIs. They'll
they
follow
were
people around.
Literally searching their trash to try to find junk on these people. And there, thankfully, wasn't really much.
But they'll do that to anybody.
They harass you.
And again, as a group, that is concerning. But like, people do this to other people. So
now should we talk about the current trial stuff?
Oh yeah, go for it.
I guess so. All right. So Danny Masterson.
You watched that 70s show, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember
Hyde, sunglasses, cool hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think so. He was the grumpy one or whatever.
Yeah.
The pothead.
Okay. So this guy had sexual assault, rape allegations from like 2001, 2003.
I remember this.
He was accused by two other Scientologists. Now, in Scientology, it is forbidden to go and tell law enforcement about another Scientologist. Yeah. It's forbidden. You're not allowed to do it.
That's why I kept saying you can't do anything.
You can't. You're not allowed.
You're not allowed to do that.
You have to go and speak to their council, in which they then take care of it through their church.
Their own means.
Okay.
Yeah.
They did that and got nowhere. They then eventually
they were told it was their fault.
Right. That these things happened.
Okay.
And there was also they finally were able to go to some sort of law enforcement, and for whatever reasons weren't able to put this into a trial in any way, shape, or form.
I think they sucked up being SPs.
Yeah,
suppressive people.
Right. And then they were able to leave Scientology and went to the authorities and did finally go and lay charges. And now we just got through him getting charged, and he was convicted and got 30 years life. But the thing is, he was able to get away with.
He was able to manipulate, among other things, and get things done for him. It's similar to another church within the last 10, 20 years where I hear very same 10, stories.
20,
yeah.
100 years.
Yeah.
Years,
so what I mean, that's what I guess more what I'm saying is why is there so much anger towards them? Don't get me wrong. They, from the concept of having to pay to get to different levels, shit like that.
I think
because of the fact that they said it was forbidden.
Right.
Right.
Here's the thing: like if a Christian rapes another Christian, that other Christian can't go and talk to the fucking police about it. You know what I mean? Like if a Jew rapes another Jew, or something happens, you still can operate within the boundaries of the law of the land.
Right. Or what Dave was referencing: if a priest diddles a little boy, that family's still allowed to go to the cops and be in the church.
Of course.
They're allowed to, certainly, but the essence, depending on the actual environment you're in,
But it's
can
not
change that perception.
It's not legitimately considered forbidden.
Right. It's not indoctrinated.
Dude.
And okay, so fair.
I'm telling you,
I
they
now
signed,
understand.
they signed
I'm-
contracts and
So,
shit.
right.
Yeah.
So
Like,
I'm
legally.
understanding a touch more in that sense that, yes, a lot of these religions, in order to really fall into that environment, you really have to be in that environment. Whereas this one, you're more opting into through monetary.
Right.
You could be
elements.
born into it.
But to your point,
Can you?
You can be born into
yeah, you
Scientology.
just
can
have to
be,
pay?
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
That
Um,
does suck.
Unless you do the Sea Org thing. I
Oh,
can't remember. No,
when
Sea
you're a
Org still
kid.
has to pay.
Yeah.
But you work, you earn money, and then the money goes to.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the money is
But
the experience. Point.
To your point, Dave, it is unfortunate that no matter any of these organizations, you have people in positions in power that are
Yes.
fucking abusing it
It's the people.
and taking advantage of others
Yeah.
in various means. It sucks. It just sucks even
Religion,
more so.
businesses, all that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
It just sucks even more so when Scientology basically puts into their indoctrination to allow people to that.
And that's the part that
out.
I have to admit I'm not clicking on, because generally my policy is I don't try to blame the organization of any of those levels, business,
Right.
religious, thought, ideas, any of these things.
Mhm.
I generally blame the people that are actually doing it.
For sure. Of course.
But based on the description I'm hearing, this is slightly different because the people, everybody's knowingly doing it that is part of this particular group.
Oh yeah. Whenever like the stories I heard in that book that I listened to, whenever somebody did something wrong,
Yeah.
quote unquote, it was always the victim's fault.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was never the
It's never the
perpetrator.
the perpetrator. It's always especially when it comes to higher up people. But even yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
that is peculiar. I can't think of any group of people that would want to have that as one of their mantras. It's just
Well, I'm sure when you're getting into it, like that's not first on the table. Do you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things that's subtly put in.
maybe
later
some way
on,
that
right?
they build you into this place where
Right.
you don't see them the evil, the others the evil.
Exactly,
Yeah, that type of stuff.
And then that
It's just- I have to
gaslighting
admit,
happens.
That's where I'm
early.
struggling because don't get me wrong, lots of groups across the entire world will do we'll handle this all internally.
Right.
But oftentimes, any of these groups, they will do the handling internally.
Yeah.
It's just funny to hear that in this case they may not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's true. Their goal is to keep the machine running. That's the goal, right? All roads lead to do not fuck with this machine, and that's why this whole thing with the Danny Masterson trial is so intriguing and important, is because of the fact that now people are going to start looking at Scientology differently. Up until this point, I don't think there's been any sort of serious light on their going-ons and whatnot. But now that we've had this and it's squarely focused on members of Scientology stopping these investigations from happening, it might result in action.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because
Maybe.
and I think it's also because we'd have to look into the actual court documents or whatever.
Right.
But from what I've heard, Scientology played a big part in the trials itself.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to use that as, well, this is a religious thing.
Right.
This is and Scientology would even be like writing letters or send representatives and
Right.
like this is how we operate in our religion. You can't, it's whatever amendment right.
Yeah.
Right. They tried to pull that shit.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
all in all, he got 30 years to life for doing what he did. So
yeah,
good on that judge for not fucking.
not eligible until like 77, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Good
parole.
good for him for not
Well, the decision came down to
succumbing
this.
to the religion thing.
I think it was a girl, and she basically said the choice was it's either 15 because he was charged on 2 counts. So it was either choice was 15 to life concurrently, or is 30 to life was her decision because it was a jury that decided.
No, that's what his lawyer wanted. his lawyer wanted them to be served concurrently, so he'd only get 15
So that
years.
was the
he
the
said,
judge's decision.
and the judge said nay.
Of course, yeah. The judge said, how can this
I
be
think
punishment
in the
served?
If it's always the judge that does.
The judge definitely said nay 30 years.
That's what I'm saying though. But that was the only decision the judge actually had, right? But the judge exactly like, why would I do this? This isn't punishment. You getting 15 years? You've got to serve your 30, right?
Because then 15 years turns into 6 years. Blah, blah, blah.
For sure.
Well, 30 will likely be 10.
There are others that have come forward, and it turns out like this is going to be a thing. So, it could crack the walls of Scientology, which, to your point earlier, Dave, as well, I want all the fucking walls of organized religion to be kind of chipped out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this should be
organization.
Yeah, it shouldn't be so damn powerful. Exactly.
No. So from my perspective, any organization generally should be about supporting, helping, being, sharing, enjoying life, things of this nature.
Yep.
And never to the point of ostracize, pain, aching.
I always think like, if let's take again Christianity, because I guess it's the most popular one. Jesus wouldn't come back, and I don't think he would agree with how shit's being run.
No, absolutely
I don't
not.
think he'd be down with that. Based off of the stories I've heard about the guy, I think he'd be like, don't do shit in my name, first of all, unless I fucking tell you to. Thirdly, this is ridiculous. All of this is all fuck.
All this. What is all this?
Right? Like, I don't know. My dad always
turn the wine into water. Like, no.
My dad always joked. Well, I guess not joked, but kind of, because I went to Catholic school and whatnot. At one point, I was like, "Yay, Jesus!" And he was like, "You know, Jesus ever came back, he wouldn't hang out with you." I was like, "What?" Kind of like, why wouldn't Jesus hang out with me? He'd be hanging out with people who need to be saved. Like prostitutes and like drug addicts and lepers and homeless people.
All the classic horrible places you could think of in your mind.
That's where Jesus would be hanging out. And it was,
it's like, you're gross. I don't want to hang out with lepers. I'm not going to hang out.
Right. So again, there's these religious zealots who think, Jesus is going to come back for them, but
it's also people like, that's why I always think it's funny. I mean, when you see churches focus so hard on making their environment better and their congregation bigger and their church bigger, it's like Jesus did not belong to a church. You know what I mean? Like, he was mobile.
No, he was a nomad,
doing his thing.
man.
Exactly.
He fucking went around, and
Church
he was
wherever
always
he decided to
saying,
hang out. Yeah.
Let the little kids come in, fucking learn from me. You come and learn from me. I don't care who you are. Come and learn. You're a thief. That's cool. Come and learn.
Yeah,
it's just interesting.
Again, it's humans being human.
Absolutely it is. Of course.
I always related Buddha and Jesus in a way, in that respect of like, everybody's on the same plane when it comes to what I got to say.
Yeah, they probably play a good pickleball together. I'm sure.
Right. Nice. I've always heard that there's one theory out there that because we don't have the stories of what happened to Jesus between like 11 and 30.
Well, the Dead Sea Scrolls have them, but yeah,
they have them.
Well, they haven't been confirmed, but yes, they are. They are.
Anyway, there's a theory. I'm not saying this is true.
Fair.
That he traveled to like India and that kind of area and whatnot, and did learn certain things from the Buddha, and that's why the whole Bible, the whole idea of it kind of changed.
How to light the hashish?
Oh, maybe.
I think so, yeah.
But no, the whole like, don't be a dick.
10 years, he was a stoner.
He was a Buddhist.
He was a Buddhist.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus was a Buddhist. He was an explorer,
and he was a student, right?
Yeah.
So he took the whole probably like don't be a dick thing, because if you look at the first fucking Testament,
love it,
right? God's a dick. He's fucking killing people and drowning people and fucking lighting shit on fire and blowing up fucking cities.
You to kill your babies.
And shit. Like, they getting you to fucking kill babies and your brothers and shit. And then all of a sudden, Jesus turns fucking 30 and everybody's got to love each other and fucking be cool, right?
Why? Whoa, yo, why you spiking me
out? Just puff and sit, man.
Right? I can say Jesus. Why not? Jesus is probably a stoner. You're gonna tell me that they used hemp for clothing and paper and ropes, but they didn't fucking try to smoke the shit too?
Well, they may have, in all honesty, yeah. But hemp is not the same as good marijuana.
Well, they could have figured out that if they had hemp, they probably had marijuana.
Stoned ape theory.
or some sort of fermented get you high stuff.
But that was more get you drunk.
Well,
but
that's the
nonetheless.
theory. That's how there's a theory out there that how we've evolved to this state is due to psychedelics in nature.
I've heard that.
I've
too,
heard
actually.
psilocybin. I've heard. I've also heard
Fermenting apples and stuff.
The burning bush was apparently
Ergot.
possibly DMT. Ergot.
It was ergot poisoning apparently because the Jews had rye bread.
I mean, I would. I mean, yeah.
I wasn't there. I
would,
can't speak
no,
to it.
can't either. But I would not be surprised that a lot of the happenings in the Bible were due to psychedelic experiences.
I mean, I believe Jesus was a dude.
Which, let's be honest, I don't think that's how L. Ron Hubbard got to Scientology, was due to psychedelics.
No, I'm pretty sure it was booze.
Straight booze and illiterate nature.
Well, no, because because he tried to do something, it failed, and then he turned it into something else. He was apparently an acclaimed science fiction writer. Yeah.
I also heard he was not a very good. No, I heard it the opposite. I heard he was not a very good scientist.
Or maybe it was just published. Because he was able to be published in magazines.
But I don't think
but
he
not
was
acclaimed.
himself. No, I heard he also was not good at actually writing. Like I heard he is grammatically incorrect and such. But
Battlefield Earth. That's all I have to say.
There you go.
I've got 2 words for you.
Yeah.
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah.
Terrible story.
Horrible.
Even worse fucking movie. And that's the thing too. So here's the thing about Scientology. They've gone so far that they have their own production companies.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So they'll make movies like Battlefield Earth. And it's
I thought that was the one that even they stepped away from or something.
To Dave's point,
I think you're right. They even were like, no.
That wasn't ours.
This is going a little left. And
But today's point, like so do Christian.
Yeah, you
organizations,
get-
I guess the
organizations.
Vatican
all of
probably
them,
has
all
that
of them
kind
got
shit.
some sort of
Everybody
media
again.
company.
It's humans.
700
being human.
Club. Does
that still
television?
exist?
Oh yeah.
But that was more like televangelism.
That was
That's
television.
true. That was televangelism.
Yeah.
Right?
It still exists.
Oh yeah.
Or like those
we don't have cable. How will we watch it?
or those
I just did. How do
ultra
they make
church
money
or whatever.
now?
Old people.
I want to kind of go Google it now.
You should. Wow.
there was
Careful.
the
That's gonna sit at your feet for a while. I don't even want that.
But then there was that guy. I mean, again,
Jimmy Swagger.
see, I mean, there's that guy. But
All those guys.
what they were, and it's South Park made a joke about it too, where the televangelist was asking for money for a rocket ship and shit like that. It was actually based off of a guy who would go on TV and be like, "We need more money for our private jet.
Yeah.
We need a private jet to get Jesus' word out to everybody."
That always reminds me of the ICP song
was like
with
Peter
at the end of
Popov
it
or some
I
shit.
love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's where
There's a lot of those.
I feel like
guys.
that kind of shit. That's bad.
Well, and that's the
That
thing.
gives- that
I
gives your
heard a
religion a
comedian
bad
say it
name,
the
man.
other day. He
Yeah.
goes, chances are God is whatever the 10 Commandments are. All the rest was made up by like humans. You know, I was like, that's probably
we are
true.
human.
Yeah,
I mean, and the 10
that's
Commandments
probably
are
true.
pretty logical if
They're
you think
pretty,
about
they
it, right?
really are.
Don't kill people.
Don't kill people.
Don't steal
don't
shit.
Steal shit. Don't fuck your
Don't fuck your neighbor's wife.
Just don't do that.
Don't steal. Don't be envious of your neighbor's
yeah,
shit.
don't do that. Don't be envious.
The one thing that kind of like the whole idols thing. Don't worship false idols.
Sure,
I mean,
I get that.
Oh no, that was them trying to say
I
don't worship.
Well,
yeah. See, right? I don't. That's
There
why I
you
don't
go.
get it. That's why I
But
don't
here's
get
the
it.
thing, like, because everybody ends up serving some sort of idol, right? Whatever that might be, however that comes out. Some choose,
But
some
who
don't.
determines what if it's false?
Who knows? Who knows?
I serve the idol of the dude.
The dude, right?
Right.
Dude abides, right? I'm just saying,
Flying
like,
spaghetti
the whole
monsters.
point of saying that is you maybe shouldn't serve any false idol. Being once you do, you're going to fall into whatever that pit is, right? Because
So I
So
wanna
is
call-
that why we don't have like statues of God? Would that be considered a false idol?
To me, it's not even about false.
Well, we don't-
I'm one of those annoying people. Don't serve
Yeah.
any idol.
right?
You be good to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hurt others.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
there's no
And
serving.
I think if Jesus was some sort of prophet, like or
And-
whatever, he was a dude who went around saying that.
yeah,
And
you
and
just
what is
don't be a dick.
ultimately
Yeah, that's
what is
basically
serving
the rule.
what
It
is
is
serving
the dude.
Jesus or serving God? What is that? What is that ultimately?
No, there's no serving.
No. What is it? What is it? It's serving other people.
No,
That's
no,
what it
no.
is.
See,
No,
that's
that's what it is. That's what it is. To serve God is to make sure to serve other people.
So that's
and help them have.
So
better
I
lives.
have to admit, I then one of my examples, I am not a God worshiper. To me, it's more of serve yourself, but do it without hurting others. If this makes any sense,
That's Satanism.
I don't.
No,
see
seriously.
Yeah.
100%.
Don't
If you go
hurt
to the
others.
fucking
Just wanted-
website.
just the quick beat was just maybe.
Yeah.
But that is literally what Satanists think.
That's to me okay. Like as long don't hurt others.
Oh.
But
Sorry.
you
I'm gonna-
only care for yourself. If you want to care for others, and by doing that, that helps you, then do that. But I'm
And
one
let
of those
me-
annoying people. You keep your boat floating first,
And let me
then
say,
help others.
and let me say Satanism in the way of not Anton LaVey and the spooky, magical, dark, black magic Satanism.
I don't think a lot of
That
people
kind of
know
shit.
who Anton LaVey is.
He
by
was
way.
the guy.
Oh,
He was the guy who started Satanism.
oh, okay. That guy.
He was. If you know who. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
you've seen his picture. Trust me. He was like he had like a crazy wizard hat. And he had like
Oh,
a
for sure.
handlebar mustache.
Oh,
and he was
How
like
how
a
else would
pointy
you start
fucking-
that if you didn't have a Fu
But
Manchu?
nowadays,
Oh, okay.
nowadays, Satanism has tried to be more of a legitimate, logical.
We want to be in your space, so we got like cookies and snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but what Dave was saying, because I've been to the Church of Satan's website and I've looked at it, and its doctrine is like
I don't think that's a flexion thinking.
serve yourself first,
right.
but
Yes.
don't be a dick,
yes.
right? Don't hurt other people.
Correct.
But if you got to protect your shit, protect your shit,
Well, yes.
but within reason,
With curses
right? It's
and sacrifices.
so
No.
it's
You can't curse
interesting.
and sacrifice your
I
way
might
to
be a
protect your shit.
Satanist.
it was one of those things like, hey, we don't fucking kill babies, all right?
I shouldn't laugh at
Not
this
anymore.
statement.
But exactly,
Well, no, we just talked earlier about how God killed babies.
that's true.
Sure, not anymore.
Not anymore.
But-
Not anymore. I mean.
No, but
okay,
that's
okay.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
lately.
Yeah, no, but that's more what I mean. I have generally found religion, like most things, are simply us humans being human and mixing and
Just to
stirring
find the
and
meaning.
to get
It's-
the power and things we want.
I think it's believing in a story, right? Like
We do like stories.
even back in the olden times, like I don't know if they existed, but I mean, if they did, they did. If they didn't, they didn't. But people believed in stories about dragons and shit
Still
like
do.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
guess you're right. I guess they're right. They still do, like Asian cultures and stuff like that, like in
Absolutely.
China and whatnot,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So there you go. People
Yeah.
just believing in stories.
we don't
but
know
believing
shit
to a-
anyway,
believing
right?
to
Like,
a point that could be bad in certain cases is the shitty
Like,
part, right?
Yeah.
And that's
essentially,
where
we've been
that's where
recording-
Scientology.
Yes, that's.
we've only been recording
Lands
history
for
for
me
like
anyway.
10,000 years. So what the fuck do we know about shit?
That's a
We
good
don't
point.
know anything.
I'm
We're
fairly certain throughout those 10,000
cobbling-
years, shit has worked kind of the same way.
We're
Yeah.
cobbling
In and out.
together the best of what we know based off new discoveries all the time. The problem with Scientology is it's pretty fresh, and it was knowingly written by
A science
fiction writer
I-
who knowingly tried to advertise it to other people's, and when
Right.
it didn't work, he pivoted and like, aha, I'm gonna make it a religion. And so that for that reason, you know, it's a bait and switch swindle system,
It's
right?
snake oil, man.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get something like that from your life. It's the same as like Mormons, right? I mean, the whole
Oh,
Mormon
man.
thing,
Dude,
you know, it's
we
odd.
don't have time for this.
I was just saying.
Oh yeah, we got to
But
start
don't-
wrapping
I know,
this
I
up.
know, I know.
Let me get
All
the
I'm saying
fucking
is-
Mormons guy.
All I'm saying is, regardless of how they got there, if it offers benefit and happiness to your life, hey, yeah, keep it up. Keep it up.
No,
But
you're not
because it's
hurting others.
If
other
it's not-
people.
if it's not,
and that's
hurting
the
others,
problem.
If it's not hurting others,
Well, then Mormonism and Scientology bad.
okay, that's Mormons. There we go. There we're done.
Because
yes,
unfortunately, and I've looked into that too because of
I
South
know.
Park.
Yeah, they have
I
South
did the
Park.
deep dive, and that's
So actually,
just
this
as culty, man.
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
I think we need to bring up the cultist South Park things that you two are
Yeah, well, you
obviously
know,
We are
huge
definitely
subscribers of.
That's a good point.
Yeah. If there's any property that's got more,
I
of my
think
money,
I've only
I
ever
don't think
paid for
they're-
South Park once or twice, though. No,
No,
Chris
I've
made
gotten
more than me.
lots of money. Yeah, they've gotten lots of my money.
Well,
I
2
don't
video
mind.
games and the movie.
I used to own
I
some
would
DVDs.
say I would say those are the only 3 things I've paid for.
Actually, anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Called South Park. Join it.
Join it.
Join it.
Join us.
Oh
Join
dear.
it. Butters is our leader.
Crab. people
Crab.
look like people, taste like
I love
crab.
it. All right, well, let's wrap this up.
All right.
Hey, you out there, what are your thoughts on Scientology?
I pity the fool.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh boy, do we ever? We want to hear your thoughts. Was
perfect
everything
timing.
we talked about fucked up? What did we make sense? let's keep this conversation going. So please let us know your thoughts on what we talked about in our comment section and also on our Discord server, and we'll have fun chatting over there. For anybody out there that likes what we're doing, you want to give us a little bit of money, we have ourselves a Buy Me a Coffee link. Please throw us money there. We're going to pay for some bubblies and maybe keep the lights on in our studio so we can keep our fun show rocking and rolling. Yeah. If you're out there and you're not feeling well in the mental department, we want you to know that you matter, not just to us, but to those around you. And it's important to talk about this stuff. It doesn't matter what religion you belong to. It's important to talk about what's going on in your head. If you can't do that with anybody that's in and around you, we're going to have some links in our description so you can seek out some of the help you might need. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
I'm the Dave.
Google gobble, one of us. It's from like fucking Rosemary's Baby or some shit.
I have no recollection. It was well done though. That was creepy. Good, yeah. Well done.
I've been Drummer.AJ.
Oh, Jesus. There you go. And just like that, you got yourself sarcastically distracted. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and this wackadoo program.
Take
Have
care,
yourself nice peeps.
Bye now.